Yes, yes. So check it out. I don't know if you can see. Check stub for $39,778. It's a nice size check for a single day. Now the beautiful thing about this check stub is it's tax-free. Now some of you may say, yeah, duh, dude, I know all about that. But some people don't know about this strategy. This is how President Trump, the Grant Cardones, and a lot of other people become extremely rich. Because some of the money they make is completely tax-free. And I'm going to show you how you do that. Hey, if you don't have a free copy of my ebook, you don't have to die broke. As always, go to my profile, click the email tab. I'd be happy to send it to you. No catch, no follow-up, no mentor groups. Now let me show you how I made basically 40 grand yesterday, tax-free. And when I say made, we'll get into what I mean by that. We'll go to the board. It's a little windy. If it moves, I apologize. So yesterday, I walked into the title company and I walked out with a check for $39,778.99. So let's call it $40,000. This money is completely tax-free. And here's why. In 2008, I purchased a house that also included a garage apartment for $89,000. I've had the home and the garage apartment rented ever since. It's been 11 years. And the loan was paid down to $42,000. So that's like $45,000 in equity. During this time, in the 10 years, the home is now valued at $160,000. So in 10 years, the home basically almost doubled. So the value of the home is $160,000. I owe $42,000. So that's $120K in positive equity. So here's what I did. I went in, and I don't want all that money. I could have walked out with a $100,000 check. I don't want to do that. I want to keep my debt to ratio fine, but I need debt to make money. So I went in and took the loan back to 85 grand. Now, interest rates have gone up. So my previous loan was a lot less. It was like 3.9 or 4.1. My rate now is 5.7%. So my loan, my mortgage goes from $479 to $590. So about a $110 increase. Now, I just recently raised the rents I did $50 on the garage apartment and I did $75 on the house. So we're going to offset that cost. So I walked in, I signed papers, and I walked out with a check for $40,000. Tax-free, because this is a loan and not considered active income. This is not money from a job. This is a loan. Now, I can deposit it in my account, which I did, and I could go buy a new car. I could do whatever I want to do with this money. The property still cash flows, although, yeah, it's down a little bit, but I still have room to raise the rates. So the property, it costs me $590 now, plus taxes, plus insurance, and the property was cash flowing at about $7,000 a year. It's probably going to drop down to about $6,000 a year, but I got 40 grand. I'm going to get that back as I raise the rent into the future. Now I'm going to immediately invest $25,000. Probably not immediately. I'm going to put it in the brokerage account to buy stocks, but I'm going to wait till I find good deals and buy things on sale. I'm going to invest that money in 8 to 12% yield, which means I want to get $200 to $250 a month on this money, which will offset this cost. Now, I still have $15,000 basically, or $14,000 some change. I'm going to use that as a down payment on another house. So the money I walked out with a check for $40,000. I'm going to invest $20,000 of it. I'm going to take $15,000 of it and I'm going to buy another house. I have more loans coming due. And so I'm going to do this about every other year. So in 2 years from now, I have another loan. I had a 5-year ARM on it, 7-year ARM. So it's going to come due, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull out probably $40,000. I'm going to invest $25,000 of it in 8 to 12% yield. I'm going to take the other half and I'm going to buy another house. And then in 2 years, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again, again, and again. Now this is the exact formula that Donald Trump and Grant Cardone do, except they're adding zeros. And so instead of 40,000, they're doing, 400,000. Then if you add 2 zeros, it's 4 million. And so you can do the same idea on an apartment complex as you can do on a single family home, but I don't have partners. So this is just my thing. Now I have 15 properties. So in theory, I could go in, refinance it, pull out the money, get a big check over here. That money's tax-free. I could put this on a 15-year note, and I could begin the process of doing this every year. Tax-free income, and just work my way through the loans. And when I get all the way back, the first one will be paid off because we did them on 15-year notes. And so you could literally live the rest of your life pulling out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year tax-free, which is the equivalent to making, what, $55,000 at your job? Except you're not doing any work. This is what I mean, that anyone can become rich in 7 to 10 years. Because in 7 to 10 years, you're going to get assets that produce cash flow that while they pay you money, go up in value. And then as you age, as the assets become different prices, as the cash flow increases, when you get down here to year 20 and you become an older person, you get more options, different options of what you can do. And so as I'm now approaching 50, I can begin this process. So I could do this from the age of 50 to say the age of 60, begin pulling equity out of my houses, stacking that cash in paper assets, just paper assets. I could offset lifestyle. I could begin enjoying some lifestyle. And so I don't have to feel bad about that. True enough, the $40,000 has been added to debt. That's now debt, if I could spell. And so if you're on the Dave Ramsey plan, you may not like the fact that you just added debt. But I'm going to take that debt and I'm going to turn it into cash flow. And the most importantly, it's tax-free. Now I could take this and start pushing some of this into my IRAs. So I could take tax-free money, push it into my IRA, which I think the max is what, $5,500 right now? Or I think they may have just increased it. I think I saw you can go to $7,000 now. I have to double check on that. And so I can max out my IRA, one in the wife's name. That would still leave enough to buy a house. And then when I do it again in 2 years, I could max out the IRA again, max out the IRA with tax-free money that then gives me a tax deduction, right? Give me a tax deduction and I could buy another house. And then I do it again and 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 do it again. And soon you just have millions and millions of dollars. But this isn't on accident. This is all on purpose. This is every year I'm on a 70-year